Hola, yo soy Trino Trevino y les doy la bienvenida al Club Tesoro. It's important. So, well, thank you very much for joining me to this interview. I mean, the main purpose of it is that you have just released a new single in February. That's the Pray, and today was the release of the official video, no? So,
yeah,
excited about it?
I'm really excited. Yeah, especially the video. I absolutely love the music video. It's so hard to make good music videos, you know, and like I feel like I've failed a few times. I actually made a bunch of clips which never got released because it's very difficult. And this one, I'm really happy with the result of this one.
So what was the story behind the video? Because I've already seen it, and it's a super fast video, but at the same time has a lot of things happening inside it, and we see all type of things. I mean, we see cities, we see Google Earth images, we are seeing a lot of diversity in animals. So yeah, exactly what are we looking at in the official video?
So the director, his name is Porrick McLaughlin from Ireland, and I told him the story behind the song, which is about a very complicated relationship, I would say, and it has a lot of different facets to it, I'd say, and a lot of different layers of relationship. So it's about like expectations and like projections onto the other person. It's about letting go and like realizing what is good for you and what isn't, and what is damaging you in a way. And I feel Porrick, he just mashed together like all sorts of associations he had with those topics, and it's a very fast journey. I don't even know how to describe the style. I'm not sure if it's stop motion or something like that, but it's a really intense journey of going through different layers of the world in this sense. And then there's two friends of mine who are performing in the video as well. They're from Barcelona, two dance performers, and so they basically interpreted the song on a body level, on a performance level, and then this is cut into the video. It's hard to describe it. I guess you just
but it's very amazing to see it, because as you were saying at the beginning, sometimes it's of course very difficult to translate a track to a video, but I think that good concepts like this one can really put you to think more, instead of just showing a video of people dancing, which is like the typical format of dance music, no, that they all do like the same thing. So I think this can relate a lot with asking you, why did you decide to start into music? I mean, I know this is like a very general, but I think it connects with, at the end, why you do what you do, no? So
yeah, for sure. I mean, generally, I guess I had a passion for music pretty early already, and when I started, I was 15 or something when I started playing guitar and singing and playing in bands, and I started writing songs, and I realized that writing songs is such a beautiful thing. It's like creating something that you can basically leave behind, or something that may stay longer than you do. And that really fascinated me. I think what got me into making this style of music was after I moved to Berlin, I discovered like the whole electronic scene here, and I really loved the sound, but I was missing some aspects of music that I loved about folk music, for example, or like storytelling music. I was missing the concert aspect of it when I was at a party, for example. So so I had this idea of bringing them together and playing my songs, but also making it danceable and body music in a way.
So when people look to your videos, which right now are super successful inside YouTube, if people haven't seen your live shows and other things you have online, you always have the guitar. So I have a great interest to know why the guitar has been like a main thing for you. I mean, was it like something that crossed in your life when you were 15, like you were saying, that you started with guitar, or you really have I don't know. I just want to know the story behind the guitar.
Actually, it was there was a boy in the other class at my school when I was 15, and he was playing guitar in the breaks in the classroom, and I just happened to pass by, and I heard him play, and I was just hooked, and I sat in the classroom and listened, and eventually I asked him if he would teach me, because I was really fascinated by just the sound of it. And that was really the start of how I got into playing guitar, and I guess it just stayed my main instrument since then. I was into rock music after that, and I played in rock bands, and played different styles of guitar, but it was always guitar. I also love to play the piano, but it's hard to play at shows. It's hard to bring a piano. It's kind of complicated. So the guitar is very handy in that sense.
And talking about your setup on stage, because as people might label it, you are considered as a live act, because in the DJ world or in the electronic music world, the pretty common setup is CDJs or turntables and the mixer, no? But you come with more gear on stage. So how have you decided which gear is the best for you in terms of how to explain yourself on stage? So what is like your basics, or how have you developed to the point that right now you have all the gear you have around you on stage?
It was really a process and it's still changing my setup. Like I keep trying to improve it, but generally first I had to find a way to be able to play guitar, and then but also control my computer sometimes while I'm playing the guitar. So I knew I would need a foot controller to be hooked to my computer in order to like launch a scene or launch a sound there while I'm playing the guitar. And then I realized I was doing loop music before, so I had a loop station, and then I really wanted to implement that as well, which was very easy to do in Ableton Live, which is the software I play with. And I guess I just grew the setup around the idea of being able to play as much as I can live, like being able to jam and to not always play the same set for the people, but really take some of the energy that is present and then turn it into music somehow. So now I'm also bringing a little synth, and I have a bunch of MIDI controllers, and I have a bunch of sounds that are looped, and I can basically build a track from scratch while I play, which is very important for me also to keep it interesting for myself.
So people can know that when they are seeing you live, you're not doing the same show twice, no? I mean, you're always sharing spontaneous moments, being free on stage, no?
Yeah, exactly. That's the fun thing. Like sometimes it doesn't work that well, sometimes you're just not.
But it's part of it, right? No, to test.
And then other times, that's the cool thing.
Exactly.
If you can be surprised, and also me by myself, so that's nice.
So what have you found in your career as a storyteller inside electronic music so far, that you are now all around the world? I mean, I know that right now there's not so much touring, but you've done a lot in the past. And what have you learned during this process for you?
Well, I mean, first of all, I learned that it's possible for me to, live that dream in a way, because it's been my dream for a long time to be a touring musician and to be able to see the world while I'm playing music. And yeah, people are coming to my shows in different parts of the world, which is really amazing. But I've also learned that not everything is the way you imagine it to be before, like I learned that touring is, you also pay a high cost, like you pay the cost of not being home, not seeing your friends, always being somewhere else, always being like someone who's just a visitor. And it took me some time to realize that is really, that you need to take care of yourself while that is happening, because everything becomes so fast, and at some point it just like, cities are just passing by and you don't even remember anymore where you were like last week. And so in that sense, the Corona crisis and the break was really good for me to see that and to be home and to have a lot of time in the studio, and and also for the future to just take care of myself and maybe not take on every show that is possible.
So reflecting in this process, I mean, that we know that every part of the world is in lockdown still. What has this, or if this has even changed in terms of your creativity inside studio? I mean, have you changed, like, I don't know, the way you want to now present your music to the world, or what have you come up with during this process?
Well, first of all, I came up with a lot of new music and a more diverse sound, I would say. And I think the inspirations I had during this time were obviously a lot different, very different from what I had before, from the shows and parties. So I did a lot of music that it's like slower and I don't know, like different tempos, and not so much focused on the dance floor anymore, or like on a 4 to the floor beat, for example. And I really want to try and bring that to my shows as well. Actually, I want to really, when I perform, I want to play more of a journey and also have like quieter parts and slower parts and faster parts, and just be more diverse than just a regular, like sounding like a regular DJ set or something like that.
Yeah. So now that you I mean, if people look for you inside YouTube, main videos are a lot of your live shows, like in Burning Man. Right now, you've done one that I listened to it last week inside your studio. So I suppose it's in the same one you are right now doing this interview.
Yeah.
And that set is amazing. I just enjoyed it a lot. And
thank you.
My question is, do you think that, and probably because of the feedback you received from a lot of your fans or up and coming producers and DJs, the future in terms of how to present electronic music might be in the way you're doing it, like with more gear on stage and being more as a band and not only turntables and pushing play?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was really nice for me to do this show from my studio, because I basically reworked my whole live setup, so it was all new. And I had the plan of doing that for a long time, but it was just so much work that I never felt like doing it. Also because I had gotten used to my old setup, which I've been playing for years, you know. So it was good for me to have this date and time where I need to be ready with a new setup and also with the new songs. And I thought it worked really well, and I had a lot of fun playing it. So and the next step for me is I sometimes play with a band, and now I'm trying to think of how to translate the new album into either a band setup or some sort of live setup that is different to what I did before.
Yeah. Well, we will be looking forward to it to be the first ones in the side of the show, because we need that type of shows right now, and I hope that it comes sooner or later. I mean, and you probably know that here in Mexico, I mean, I'm here in Mexico City, so in Tulum and this part of in the south of our country, the type of music you create, people really, really love it. So I think it's going to be an amazing experience to have you over here once again, and to enjoy one of your sets in the beach, probably. So yeah, that's my wish for 2021, that I hope that it comes through this year. And yeah, I mean, we'll be looking forward. So is there anything else you want to share to your fans over here in Latin America that you want to have the opportunity to connect with them?
I just really hope that I could come back soon. I was actually in Mexico over New Year's.
Okay.
And originally I was going to play in Tulum, but then it was like there was too much Corona and it didn't feel like the right thing to be playing a show. So I didn't play, but I spent 3 weeks in Mexico, and I had the most amazing time because, I think Mexico is really one of my favorite countries.
Good to hear it.
Man, it's so beautiful. I went rock climbing in San Cristobal de las Casas.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it just blew my mind. It's so nice there. Compared to Germany, I mean, now we're slowly getting out of winter, but it's still really cold and dark, you know?
Yeah. Now here the sun is already... we're ready.
No, exactly. Yeah. So as soon as it's possible, I'm definitely coming over to South America, and I'd love to play again. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll be expecting you over here, and you're always welcome to come and share your music and to enjoy yourself over here. So thank you very much for the time and for this interview. And I mean, people that haven't listened to The Prey, that has been your latest release, you can get it in pretty much every streaming service online or wherever you want to see it, and also that you can watch the official video already in YouTube. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. Cheers, man.
Thank you.
Esto es un episodio más de El Club Tesoro. Mi nombre es Trino Treviño y les agradezco una vez más a todos ustedes que nos escuchan en todas partes del mundo. Recuerden compartir el podcast si es que les gustó, para que se puedan suscribir más de sus amigos y podamos comentar mucho más sobre estos temas. Yo estoy en las redes sociales como @Trino DJ, así me encuentran como Trino DJ en Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube y SoundCloud. Así como también pueden visitar mi sitio web, que es www.trinodj.com, donde cada semana estoy subiendo artículos relacionados al mundo de la música, así como entrevistas y también los programas de radio, donde cada semana estreno mucha música. Una vez más, les agradezco, espero puedan comentar este podcast con todos sus amigos y me dará mucho gusto saber de ustedes en las redes sociales. Nos escuchamos el siguiente episodio, hasta pronto.